My name is Andrea Vilazon, best known as Andy. Just for a little background of myself, I am a full-time student at BCC. I am a full-time and a part-time nanny, and I have dreams of being a psychologist in combination with holistic medicine. Just a little background of myself, as I know this is an online class and we never really get the chance to meet face to face. So I guess this is like the closest opportunity to introduce myself. Today in my video, I will be talking about door in the face technique, and that's not all technique. I'm going to start off with talking about door in the face technique. So door in the face technique is a technique where somebody will ask you for something a little unreasonable and a little kind of not something that you wouldn't agree to. And then right after, they will follow up with a smaller request that it's more likely that you will say yes to. This is an explicit attitude, I guess, because you can clearly see what the person is trying to do, and you can consciously assess the behavior. I feel like when somebody is doing this to you, you automatically know what they're trying to do, but it still, for some reason, tricks your brain into thinking you're getting like a good deal or you're applying to a good job, or etc. So I have seen this a lot in my life, because I am a full-time nanny and I'm currently in the transition of finding a new family to work for. So I've been on like 15 plus interviews, and I've noticed that families will kind of bombard you with requests. Like they'll ask me to iron, to cook, to clean, to bake, to run errands, to make appointments, like all these things that sounds so unreasonable and so much in combination with childcare that they know that you would not be likely to accept. Sorry, that's my work alarm. Alexa, stop. You're most likely to not accept. So then they will offer you something less. Like they'll offer you a little less. So they'll tell you but if this is not reasonable for you, we're totally willing to cut down the housework and so you can focus solely on the children. We can find someone else to take upon that duty, and that way you're only dedicated 100% to the children. Which I've heard this happen to me, this has happened to me in many interviews. And it kind of seems like you're getting a good deal, but at the end of the day, you're actually just doing what you're supposed to do, and it's just solely take care of the children and ensure they have their food and all those things, but not like ironing or like housekeeping or making phone calls. You're not a personal assistant. You're not a housekeeper. But I've just seen this in my industry. I feel like it's probably the same, just with different things in different work fields. For example, if you're like in retail, or if you're like in food delivery or in the food industry, it's probably the same. So that's my experience with the door in the face technique. Now I will be talking to you about that's not all technique. So that's not all technique is basically a social strategy that it's like they'll tell you something with an inflated number. For example, I like to give the example of infomercials because they're the perfect example. And they'll tell you they'll say today we're selling this TV stand for $1,000, but if you buy it right now, you'll get half off and it will only cost you $500, but you have to call in 2 hours because the deal is off, or something like that. When it's a ridiculous request because you know exactly what they're trying to do. And this is what I like to see with impression management, because they're trying to impress you. They're trying to make you feel in awe, you can get such a good deal. But when in reality, you're just going to pay the amount of the TV stand, which was probably already $500 and not $1,000. But they just try to trick you into your brain because we all love a discount. And so in my personal life, I see this strategy working a lot with me in credit cards, because they'll offer you these credit cards, 0 interest for a year, and you'll be like, oh my god, in a year I can pay off the credit card, I won't have to pay the interest. but they're like sneakily add like a little more. Like they'll add if you spend $500 in the next 3 months, you'll get $150 bonus. And you're thinking it's like a great, fantastic deal, but when in reality, they're just trying to lure you into debt so that you can eventually pay them interest, and that's the way they gain the money, you know? So I've seen this happen to me in credit cards a lot, and I feel like all credit cards offer these deals, and like they use the that's not all technique. I have also seen that's not all technique in, as I'm saying, like in infomercials, in schools, basically anywhere. Like, because there's memberships to everything now. Like gym membership. Like if you sign into the gym, it's only $1 off. But that's not all. You'll get a free protein mix or something like that. Or like like I'm saying, there's memberships for everything nowadays. So they use these techniques to do it. Even in advertisements, they'll do it. They'll have like an advertisement on the subway, and they'll be like, the finest linen, $100+. But if you use the subway code, you'll get like $20 off of $100. So you think like you're getting these great deals, but in reality, they're just trying to lure you in to their company and into their business to gain money from you. So I've seen that, and I would have to say there's some similarities to the door in the face technique and to that's not all technique, because both techniques, in my opinion, are kind of working to manipulate you into making a certain decision that benefits them by kind of confusing and tricking your mind into thinking that you're getting a good deal. So I feel like in that way, they're both very similar. But then they also have like a lot of differences, because like that's not all technique really works in like advertisement, and like during the face technique really works in like the job industries, you know? So that's what I took when researching about these techniques, and I hope I explained it well enough for you to understand, and thank you.